Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Special Simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and the Love Is Podcast. I'm excited to welcome the host of the Love Is Podcast, Kim Sorrell. Kim, how are you? And I know you're excited about our guest.
I'm doing great, Neil. Thank you very much. Hope you are too. And yes, I'm so excited. Francois Tremblay, you are the man. I love your company, Prevo, and the things that you're doing. And it's the 100th anniversary. That's gigantic. There's not that many companies that make it to 100. So congratulations on that. Congratulations with everything you're doing, and welcome to the show. I am dying to hear about one of several of the things that you guys have to offer, but I'm also dying to hear about this trip that you're taking. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's funny because exactly it's a big milestone to reach 100 years as a company, right? And I'm actually today in Orlando. We had the celebration yesterday at our local branch here with a lot of the local customers and everything because it's a Florida market is a big market for us. And it's interesting you see that there's that many company. I was reading recently that actually Disney, that is actually in town here, celebrated 100 years last year. So we're happy to join the Disney Club and be part of the select 100 years old club, So it's a great thing for us.
It's fantastic to have 100 years, right? It's got to feel great to be part of a company like that, right?
It is exactly. It shows about, history, longevity, and everything, and especially in our side of the business because people are investing a lot of money buying our equipment. So to see that we've been there for 100 years talks about, we're going to be been there for the long run, and that's what we're celebrating. You were asking me earlier, Kim. We're doing a big tour right now throughout all of service centers through North America, which are about. We're going to have about 10 stops throughout North America. Where we'll celebrate with the local customers the 100 years anniversary. So it's going to be a great time, and the culmination will be at the factory in mid-September next year, this year actually, where we're expecting to have about 10,000 people joining us for a major celebration at the factory in Quebec.
Okay,
Wow,
so,
that's huge. Yeah.
so what do you
That
want
is,
to tell our listeners and viewers more about the company and stuff? Yeah.
Prevost, I mean, has a long-standing history. And one of the things I think that kind of set us apart from some of the other manufacturers is kind of our diversification. Because, there's three main markets in the motor coach, business. There's the private sector, which is more tour and charters, scheduled service. You have the public sector, like doing commuter work, like New York. We just announced in December a major contract with New York City, where we're going to build close to 400 units for them. And there's the conversion sector, which is we're the only one playing in that space, which is the motorhome market, which where we built $2 to $3 million motorhomes for the high-end luxury market, and the entertainer for the music industry, where we actually cater to 99% of all the artists traveling in North America actually are traveling on Prevost for their concerts and tours.
yes, I'm so glad that you mentioned the motor coaches because holy cow, I have never seen anything like it. Like there are some pretty RVs out there. There are some nice ones, but you're in a class all by yourself. Like I don't think there's anything that compares to it looks like you're in an actual living room, not an RV living room. But everything about it seems so high end and so beautiful. And I would imagine, you say they're $2 million. I mean, that's a chunk of change. So it's going to be the touring people and the stars and like who besides music people going on tour, who besides that are your customers for that?
Well, on the motor market segment, it's really more the ultra, people that are quite wealthy normally because they're using that more either as I'm actually here as I mentioned in Orlando, and I'm going to Daytona for the Daytona 500 race tomorrow. And that's a great example because within the infield, we have about 75 Prevos that people are coming there for the weekend, tailgating, having fun, staying in their Prevos right there in the infield. So people like this, right? It's about the lifestyle. And what's interesting is, our converters, because for us, we're just doing kind of the structure with the slide outs of the vehicle, but we have partners that are doing all the inside because those are heavily customized. They have clubs, and typically they do 4 or 5 gatherings throughout North America every year. So that's kind of a lifestyle because people buying the product, they're also joining a club where they actually have opportunities to mingle with other owners throughout the year at different events. So it really becomes kind of a social club for for wealthy people.
Yeah, that social club's huge in so many ways. And so you see it as entertainers, you see a lot of different people who get this, use this, purchase something like this, right?
Exactly. And so this is for the motorhome, and when you talk about entertainer, you know, the music industry has changed a lot. I mean, especially the artists now, they don't want to travel traveling by plane, going to the hotel room, check in, check out, and the lack of privacy. It's perfect now using motor coach because basically they're doing their show, coming down in the basement of the stadium, hanging, going in their coach. They drive at night. The next day, they're waking up in the next stadium in the next city. They're going up, doing their sound check, spending the day there, doing their tour, and it's starting all over again. So it's a better way for them to travel. It's much more relaxing, much less demanding, and they can actually carry all their gears with them, right? Because they have a large vehicle to bring all their belongings with them. So that's why it's became really popular in the music industry to travel.
Yeah, that's so cool. That is so cool. By the way, I have a daughter-in-law from Montreal, so I love Quebec. I just thought I'd throw that in there. And so 400 buses, is that what you said? The contract with New York?
Yeah, exactly. So 400 buses. We already had about 720 on the in Manhattan. So it's quite impressive when you're in New York to see all those Prevosts going around. And the way they're using them, it's pretty simple what they're doing because they're bringing people from the boroughs, from the suburbs to Manhattan, right? So when you had to go on the highway, having a motor coach is safer because there are seat belts, people are sitting down. So that's why they're using those vehicles to bring people in Manhattan, so people can connect after that to either subway or transit buses. So it's a good way for cities to make to bring their customers in the city in a safer way. Let's put it this way.
What do you want as being part of this company? Where do you want to see this company go? Like expanding in certain horizons? What are you guys looking at?
But for us, it's about innovation, right? I think it's about how do we push boundaries because we had so many innovations throughout the year. We like definitely bring more options. Now we're talking about new technologies. We're talking about electrification, hydrogen technologies. Eventually, can it be a self-driving bus potentially? But I think drivers are more than just drivers. They're actually customer representative, catering to the people. So I don't think we're quite there yet. I think the truck industry will get there faster than us. But that's what I wish for Prevost in the next 100 years. More innovation, being close to customers. And so that's all I can wish for, right? So.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I rode several times when I was in Germany recently, and I believe they're probably yours, but those slinky buses. And I know you guys make those, right? Those are so cool.
Yeah, this is actually, we stopped making them back in 92. So we built those for about, I think from 85 to 92. Those were actually like 60 footer, which was quite long as a vehicle to operate. But when you think about it, it's interesting because going back to the motorhome segment, you know that it only takes a car driving license to drive a Prevost motor coach as a motorhome, right? Not as a commercial vehicle, but as a motorhome. And it's interesting to see that people are buying those buses, operating those buses, and often they have a 35-footer trailer in the back. So you have an 80-foot vehicle going on the road, and you just need a regular driving license. It's quite interesting, but we have great customers that that are truly embracing the lifestyle of the moment.
Excellent. All right, now Kim has a love question. Go ahead, Kim.
Okay, so Francois, this might sound interesting to you since the industry that you're in, but I want to know how it applies. I lived a year dedicated to figuring out the true meaning of love. And the things I found out about love just blew my mind and rocked my world. And I realized how big love is in every area of life and the role that love plays in business. And so I'm curious, with you personally in the business and with everything, where do you see love playing a role?
It's actually part of what we're doing every day. The first thing I think it's the love for our people, right? For people working for the company. And after 100 years, we have I think the seniority in the factory is really, before pandemic, because there was poor turnover, I think the seniority was like 25 years in average. So for me to take care of your people, giving them love, making them proud about their work, what they're doing, being part of something greater than themselves, I think shows a lot of love, and to be there to support them, to make, so they can put out the best work out there. So I would say it starts with your people. And after that, it starts with people buying your products, our customers. But because like I said, they're making a huge investment when they're buying those vehicles at $600,000-700,000, right? So you want to make sure that, they appreciate the product, but also if they it's mechanic, right? So if it fails, if there's a breakdown, we're there to support them and bring them back on the road. So the love of really going above and beyond to really take good care of them, being there, I have so many stories where, our service guy came up on the December 31st at 11 to help a customer out. And the customer says, wow, I never get that type of support from anybody else. So that kind of love actually goes a long way. And that's why we have so much loyal customers that want to do repeat business, because they know that we're there not only to sell product, but we're there to support them, and we're part of the family. So.
All right, fantastic. Where's the best place we can find information? Where can we go?
I would say go to prevocar.com. So you'll get all the information. You can see also the tours we're doing, the stops we'll have throughout North America. And by the way, last comment, I would say we have what we call Clarisse. Clarisse is a replica of the first motor coach that was built in 1924. So it's interesting because the Prévost family, did a project together to build the first replica, just starting with a black and white picture. And they did a really good job. They found actually the first Reo chassis truck that actually here in Florida, where that was the original chassis, which their grandfather built the original unit. So it's nice to see a replica, and it's named Clarisse because that was the name of the wife of the founder, Eugene Prévost. So behind every great man is always a great woman.
Fantastic.
That's why it's so that's why prevocar.com, if you want to know everything about us, what we're doing, and if you're interested in a motorhome, Neil, now is the time,
Sometime I'm going to be traveling the world. I mean, the US touring at one point, so I'll love looking at that. All right. Okay.
All right.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys. Okay. That was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and the Love Is podcast, guys. Take care.
Thank you.